Recently, I have heard someone say, failure is not an option. And you see, fuck it, I screwed up. I forgot my microphone. Ah. So let me start again. So recently, I have heard someone say, failure is not an option. It sounds brave, ambitious, like something a visionary would say in a movie before they conquer the world with nothing but charisma and a gaze. But when I heard that, I thought, is it not? To me, it sounds somewhat off, as if that someone doesn't take any accountability for when things go actually wrong, as things do, but rather pushes blame on others, because they never fail. Failure is not an option. So I think that sentence, that thought, that mindset, it wants to sound clever, but it can be one of the most dangerous traps and the most dangerous lies ever sold. Because if failure is not an option, then neither is risk, neither is growth, neither is doing anything real. And let me be blunt, if you can't fail, you can't live. Like really. We do fail every day in something. Well, at least I do, as I have proven again just today. So we can fail every day in something, but we don't consider those things to be massively humiliating necessary. We just learn from this and move on, doing that thing better or different next time, or think, maybe it's not for me. So, in my opinion, failure is the option. It's always been the option. And most of us are so allergic to the idea, we sabotage our best ideas before they even make it to the sketch pad. So, instead of doing something, you delay launching your offer. You rewrite your about page for the sixth time. You make endless mood boards instead of making your art. Because somewhere deep down, you think failure is proof that you don't belong, that you are not ready, not enough, that you were just foolish for even trying. And yes, I talk a lot about it, but because I see it in my clients. Most of my clients fear failure. But what if failure is not the real problem? What if the real issue is what you think failure means about you? Let's talk about it. Failure doesn't necessarily mean you are wrong. That is what shame would tell you. Failure just means you did something wrong. No, no, my God. Does it? No, it doesn't. So failure just means you did something, period. Not wrong. You moved. And in that movement, you learned something you couldn't have learned by waiting around, thinking about it. You can't think yourself into learning to swim, for example. You actually have to swim to learn. But you won't do it particularly well in the beginning, of course, and swallow a lot of water. And I know we kind of know this, but sometimes a reminder is useful that failure is just data. It tells you what works and what doesn't. It sharpens your instincts. It teaches you where your real limits are at that time, not the ones you inherited from your parents or your education or your LinkedIn profile. Real fail real failure isn't humiliation. It's friction, pressure, recalibration. You start to know where to cut, where to go bolder, what to throw out. You stop just theorizing and you start shaping. But none of this happens if you are busy trying to outsmart failure like it's a virus you can dodge with enough perfection. That's the real virus. Perfectionism. Recovering perfectionist here. I give you another example. There are tons of things that I have done that somehow landed. I don't even know why, but I got good feedback, maybe new clients, impact, something. And there are others that were met with silence, even though I thought was great, but crickets. And it stung. And I think it always will. But it also taught me something about timing, tone, truth, and trust. And each time I got better. I think I did. Each time I saw something more clearly, perhaps, about myself, about others, about what actually matters. And this is the cycle, and it always will be. Attempt, miss, adjust, repeat. Attempt, miss, adjust, repeat. But you can't adjust what you haven't attempted, can you? So if you want to create something meaningful, something that actually has teeth, something with soul, you are going to have to let go of the idea that you can only show up once it's perfect, because you will be misunderstood. No matter how perfect something is, you will mess up. You will over-explain, undercharge, cringe at your old work. Oh, tell me about it. You will get ghosted, regret saying yes to the wrong person. But hey, congratulations. I think you're doing it right. Because the opposite of failure isn't success. It is static. You are stalling. It's the nice, tidy life that doesn't scare anyone, including you. But if you want aliveness, which is essential for being creative, you are going to have to risk embarrassment. You are going to have to launch before you're ready. You're going to have to say the thing, write the line, send the invoice, post the video. If you can be scared to do it, but don't be still. Stillness is worshiping the lie. So what? You will fail. And it will make you better. You don't need a perfect track record. What you need is a pulse. You need clarity. You need the kind of momentum that only comes from action. Messy, honest, imperfect action. Failure is just the proof that you have tried. And trying is the only way anything meaningful has ever come to life. Wouldn't you agree? So no, failure isn't the enemy. Failure is the option. Pretending you don't care, hiding in drafts and waiting for permission, that is the real danger. So let them see you try. Let them watch you get better. Let them think what they want. And I think the right people will be motivated trying as well when they witness that. But don't ever let the fear of failing be the reason you have never lived. And if you're struggling more than you would like with this, we could do something about it. Let's talk. Find all the details below in the description. And I think that's it for me for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was a good reminder, maybe a little push in the right place. And I hope to see you next time. Bye for now. Have a lovely day.